fact, they won't
Well,
lie, if it won't perjure themselves.
And in the course of looking into all this, I've just discovered this massive gulf of disparity between the public perception of what CCTV is capable of doing and the reality of how useless it really is. And so perhaps it might be different for this audience in this room. I'm more sceptical than most, but on average, that your Joe public, your average member of the public, I'd say it's something like between 70 or 75% of people are in favour of CCTV. If you said to them, would you like a camera on your high street or in the shopping area, or even in their street, most people go, oh yeah, that'd be great, yeah, stop those kids causing trouble, or one of my neighbours got their car broken, stop all that, yeah. And most people sort of blindly, the default position is, that's a good thing, yeah, we'll have more of that, please. But unfortunately, that's the result of 20 years of propaganda. One needs to be on your guard about these things because it's happening everywhere. Go to these local meetings, go to the council meetings, ask, why are these cameras being installed? Have you got any evidence that they actually work? I mean, I could talk more about that. I don't think I've got time because Vicky's hovering. So, why are they being installed? Is there a business case? Is there any proof that they work?
What happened at the meeting?
This recent one in Moseley. There was a lot of dissent, a lot of people saying, well, we don't want them. If you can't prove that they work and there's no justification for them, why are we spending another £100,000? Birmingham City Council topped the chart of local authority spending on CCTV. A report by Big Brother Watch out last week revealed that Birmingham spent £10 million on CCTV alone just in the last 3 years.
And they can't, they say we spent it, we can't move. So people are moaning about the money and saying, oh, we spent it now, and we can't take it. The argument as just...
What they do is
they package all that idea and repackage it all and go and sell it to somebody else.
But we can't do that, so we've already spent it on CCTV.
Yeah. They say the money's ring-fenced. It's for CCTV or nothing. Now, do you want it or not? Do you want these cameras to help fight crime and keep you safer? Do you want it or not? And the whole thing is rigged to get an answer of yes. One point before I go is that the Birmingham City Council has a strategy document about CCTV written by the Community Safety Partnership in 2008, and in there it says, looking towards the future, there's a section, different technologies to incorporate, and it actually says, the public space CCTV network, we intend to link this up to facial recognition software within the next 2 years, and that was written in 2008, so that's now. It's not happening yet because the software isn't ready, but it shows their intent. This is what they intend to do. So people say, but if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about. Well, there will be a database of every face, and it will contain every one of your faces, whether you've ever committed an offence or not, eventually. Just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it won't be happening in a few years.
Well, they're beta testing it, aren't they, in shopping centres?
Yeah, haven't they got no
Chinese
village or something watching all the cameras of CCTV?
Something boring.
Napolitano, they're putting them into Walmart now. That was today's story that they're putting
unfortunately, the support for CCTV has become linked to good citizenship. So if you're a good person, you're not committing any crime, the normal default status quo is that you give it the thumbs up, you say that's a good thing, I support that. And then the implication is that if you're against CCTV, what have you got to hide, or are you a criminal? We have to challenge that because we're talking about our liberty and freedom and privacy.
I think changing the name as well. We were talking about how these subjects link in, and we were saying we instead of being security cameras, they were turning into spy cameras, and it was like, well, hold on. How are you going to market this what they are? Because really they're spying on you, and by doing that, it just kind of
that's what they were. The anti-terrorism ones, we called them spy cameras. The police hated the fact that we kept calling them spy cameras, but that's what they were.
Yeah, you try and film them, or you try and do a picture of them, and
don't like it, do they?
They don't like it, do they? And no, fair play, and they do it in 6 months. And that just shows what you can do.
On the houses, on the house.
Steve, for the Moseley residents, would you explain how Moseley, for the Moseley residents, would you explain how that's part of the scheme, Moseley in particular, fits into the rest of Birmingham?
All this CCTV.
With the Muslim.
Well, not necessarily. They was talking to me about in other words, that there's a hole in their grid.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, one of the reasons why they might want to put some cameras in Moseley is that if you take the 50 bus from the city centre, or just use that as a route, obviously in the city centre, loads of cameras all the way to Balsall Heath, then there's a gap in Moseley, then they start again in King's Heath.
No, but they're all supposed to, you go around, they're all supposed to be covered now with this blue bag, ain't
Because
they?
Steve,
That's one particular scheme.
Whose is that bag? Home Office's bag?
Technically, those cameras are owned by the West Midlands Police
I know, but
Authority.
who put the bag on?
The police.
And what type of bag is it? Does it let the camera see through?
It's meant to be...
It's a total blackout bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I believe it is, yeah.
But they've left ones, right, uncovered, circular ones, grey ones, with a little dome on them, silver dome.
Yeah, the ones that have been covered are just this one scheme which was called Project Champion.
But another thing
But
is...
I'm not talking about every camera in Birmingham.
No.
Although I am.
certain hot areas what they associate with high risk
Can you
areas.
just finish that bit about the 50 route?
Well, yeah, the camera. There's plenty of CCTV cameras all the way to you get to the edge of Walsall Heath, and they stop as you come into Moseley. And they don't. Then there's no cameras through Moseley, and then the cameras start again in King's Heath.
Yeah, but everybody knows Balsall Heath's a bit of a dodgy area.
Well,
That's no
Balsall Heath was cleared up by the residents who kicked out the drug
Cleared
dealers and
themselves,
prostitutes.
got them all out themselves.
It was the
years
residents
ago.
who cleaned up
The
the
agents.
community. It wasn't the CCTV cameras
The
who did
agents
that.
chased them out, man.
it was to do with the
No,
census.
no more.
The census identified, and then it was
Yeah.
where the money was.
Community
It
got
gets
together
really
and
deep.
fucked it all up. Yeah.
But what we're going to do is in the new year, we're going to have Steve come with Charles Farrier to talk about the CCT state and the state of the nation.
It's more than a
So-
Can I just say something now?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This CCTV thing, right? I've heard now that they're putting it on TV for the public
I
to
watch
watch and police
LA.